Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So, happy Sunday. Will we see a huge Bitcoin rally this week? Well, there's many arguments to be made that we will see that, but let's discuss those things. And also, big update on Terra Luna and Fantom. What is going on with both of these projects? Why have they risen from the dead? Let's discuss these things as well. So, smash it a like, subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell, get notified of all my streams, follow me on social media, check out CryptosRUs.com, and make sure you subscribe to the brand new CryptosRUs Clips channel. Welcome, 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 guys. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Bitcoin doing a little better, but overall, Bitcoin just going sideways. Like right now, you can see, ever since the bottom, we've touched upon this 28 something a couple times now. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. The top, we haven't gotten back up to this 30,500 yet, but we probably will. But we've touched upon that many times. Still going sideways. But I do see some of the altcoins slowly coming up today, so that's encouraging. But what is going to happen this week? Why do I think there's going to be a big rally? Well, a couple things. First of all, there are a lot of earnings this week. Could be all bad, though. Could honestly be all bad. But S&P 500, we know, headed into bear territory, then quickly recovered right at the end of the day. So it does seem like the traders are recognizing that maybe that if we get a recession or if we continue to have economic slowness, it won't be as bad as people think, right? And it's actually a prime time to be picking up. And I saw this morning too. Quasar Investment, which is the 9th biggest sovereign hedge fund in the world, believes that if we get a recession, that's if we get a recession, it will be a light one. It won't be a heavy one. It won't be one that people think will bring things down tremendously from here, right? And he thinks that we might not even get a recession. So things are starting to look better. Just a little bit. Just tiny little bit. But start to move in that direction. Here's another thing that kind of shows things are getting a little better. Mortgage rates are starting to fall. Why? If the fund rate from the Fed is going to go up, why are mortgage rates falling? Right? But it is. So that means real estate market can continue to be hot for much longer than anticipated, right? Although it's already quite high. 30-year mortgage now above 5, but it was getting towards 6, and now it's coming back down to the low 5s again. Well, these are overall positive things. But take a look at this. This is the S&P 500. You look at what happened prior in 2018 when it fell down 20%, not 28%, right? Right now, it's looking like that as well. And also for Bitcoin, we are heading into the 8th consecutive down week. We have never had 8 consecutive down weeks. So by the end of today, we'll see if we do get that 8th, okay? And if we do, well, history is on our side. We have never seen 8 consecutive down weeks. It feels even worse than some of these previous dips because at least those dips, during those weeks, we had a little bit of a relief rally, right? In between. We did not have that. So arguably the last 2 months have been the worst drop we have ever experienced in Bitcoin's history. You could argue that because we didn't have any week within the last 2 months that actually gave us any kind of relief rally. When all previous dips did, even though they may have dipped further, but at least they had something. So we have history on our side. So that is why maybe this week we will get that tremendous rally. We don't know. But again, history is on our side. I'm looking forward to it if it happens. Now, outside of that, today is Bitcoin Day. And every single year, May 22nd, we get reminded of why you do not want to spend your Bitcoin. I can't pronounce this guy's name. Laszlo. Yeah. But anyways, one of the early Bitcoin miners, and he's still around. He's alive and kicking. And he probably still has a ton of Bitcoin. But he spent 10,000 Bitcoin back in the day and bought 2 pizzas with it. Okay? 2 pizzas. And it was the very first example of exchange for something physical for Bitcoin. Right? Back then when things were still very, very, very low, no one appreciated Bitcoin, no one cared, thought it was just something for fun, and some pizza vendor decided to take some Bitcoin. And, you know, if that pizza vendor kept the Bitcoin, they would be one of the richest pizza vendors out there. But in today's terms, those pizzas costed $295 million. Okay, that's how much Bitcoin has appreciated over the last 12 years. Okay, this is why you don't want to spend Bitcoin. This is why you want to focus on years, not days, not weeks, not months, because this is what happens. Nothing has outperformed Bitcoin the last 12 years. Nothing has outperformed in the last 5 years. You could argue maybe we had a down year so far, but yes, Bitcoin goes through it, and then it'll come up and form a new high, and you just forget about it, right? But this is a prime example why you don't want to use your Bitcoin, I guess, or sell your Bitcoin. Prime example why you want to hold it for long haul. And CZ joins in on the fun and gives out Binance pizzas. So hard times have hit CZ. That's why he's making his own deliveries. But being someone that's worth like $50 billion or $60 billion and still doing this shows you how down to earth he is. I mean, some people love to hate on CZ, but I honestly feel like if you're that wealthy and you're still doing stuff like this, right, it just really shows you really enjoy what you do. You're not just in it for the money. You already made all the money you ever could spend in like 10, 20, 50, 100 lifetimes, right? But just my opinion. All right, what else is there? Other great Bitcoin stuff. TA, looking at the daily MACD flipping into the green. That's always positive whenever you see MACD flip into the green, right? So again, we could see that tremendous rally week this week. Here's another one, weekly RSI. Again, looking at the bottom from 2020, the COVID crash. You see where RSI was then versus now. Very similar pattern. Again, could that mean we're going to get that rally this week? Maybe. This is not TA, but it shows you the number of addresses with at least 10,000. That's a lot. That's a lot of Bitcoin. Okay, this is the ultra mega whales. You could see that they are increasing their holdings, and there's more and more addresses that hold more than 10,000 Bitcoin. Imagine that on Bitcoin Day, 10,000 Bitcoin spent on pizzas. Well, the number of holders that have more than 10,000 is still increasing. Not a whole lot. It's not like you have millions of addresses like this, but it's still increasing. So that's pretty darn positive. So overall, Bitcoin could have a tremendous week this week. Even if it doesn't, even if we have to wait and wait and wait, it's fine. Remember this, okay? Those who hold the longest, what happened to my example here? Those who hold the longest makes the most when it comes to Bitcoin, like the pizza guy. But he does still have a whole lot of Bitcoin. I remember seeing an interview recently where he stated that he still has a whole bunch of Bitcoin. I don't know if he has 10,000 Bitcoin worth, but he still has a whole lot. So he's doing just fine. All right. Now let's get to some of the other news. What about Terra? Well, it seems to have a little bit of a rally since yesterday. And that's because one of the things he tweeted out, which is starting to gain a little bit of traction, and let me explain why you should not be so hopeful over this. Someone asked Do Kwon to provide a burn address, okay, and he did. And the reason being, Do Kwon refuses to do or integrate any kind of burning into the proposal for whatever reason. He doesn't like it. right? So people are like, okay, fine. If you're not going to do burning, we're going to do it ourselves. So it's like a volunteer basis right now, okay? And if you're tracking an address, and by the way, Terra Station, the normal Terra Explorer no longer tracks it. So I don't know if they just shut it down or what. But I had to use this other one, BigQuery. So if you look at it, about 223 million has been received. So basically 223 million has been burnt, okay? From just people that want to support the chain, and I get it. So a lot of people want to see Terra rise up from its ashes and continue forward. But the reason why you don't want to be so excited over this is because 223 million on the grand scheme of things is now nothing, okay? Terra started, or Luna started around 350 million, and now it's at 6.5 trillion, okay? So if this number gets to a trillion or 2 trillion or 6 trillion, then yeah, it's going to make a big difference. But the fact that this is $250 million is nothing. It's like taking a drop out of the ocean. That's what it's equivalent of. But it does have some people excited, which is why I recognize Luna has come up a little bit, right? But that could just be a lot of whale games going on right now to fake people into thinking that it's going to rise from the ashes when it's really not, right? So just be careful. Just because there's a lot of burning going on, and I say a lot in quotes, it's really nothing compared to how much was minted over the last 2 weeks, okay? But the proposal, right, has gained a little bit more yeses. So the proposal to fork and create the new Terra and the Terra Classic, 66% yes, 19% abstain, 14% no, right? So if this continues on, there's about still like 30% left. This can still flip to no or abstain, which is what I'm looking for. But I don't really like this new plan, right? And obviously, people that are burning also is in support of some kind of burn proposal and not a new fork proposal, right? So that's the latest, and I haven't heard anything else. Nothing else really. So I mean, I again, Luna went up a little bit because I think people are excited about the burn, but recognize that 223 million is a drop in the bucket the size of the ocean in terms of how much has actually been minted. So keep that in mind. Chris, sorry for the weak super chat. I need more for DCA. Well, I appreciate it, man. I do. And I get the humor. It is not weak, but I appreciate it. And someone else sent, Rajan sent a super chat earlier. I appreciate that too. All right, so that's the latest with Terra. I don't have anything else to say. But I will continue covering. People like in the live chat somehow it's like, oh, don't talk about it. You know, why do you keep shilling Terra? It's the talk of the town, right? So you have to talk about it. There's new news. People want to know. There's still a lot of supporters. But I'm less and less liking what I'm hearing, especially with this new fork. Well, as for Fantom, this was brought up in live chat yesterday. I wasn't even aware, but people looked at that the GitHub commit had some commits from Andre Cronje. So people are thinking that he's back. And since that, people have discovered that his wallet has been receiving millions and millions and millions of transfers of FTM between Binance and his wallet. So what does that mean? Is he buying back in? Or what? You know, so it does seem like he may be back temporarily. I mean, he did not say anything official, but people are looking at this as a good thing, possibly because he wants to fix FMint, which will help stabilize FUSD, which is their stablecoin. Now, Fantom has released saying that it is over collateralized, so it's not like UST, right? And users have to basically stake their FTM to be able to borrow against it, right? So they're basically saying, don't worry, it's not going to turn into a UST, and it's not nearly as big as UST, right? But there's always a risk there, a risk factor. But people are speculating Andre is back because he couldn't stand the sight of what happened with UST, and now he wants to make sure FUSD doesn't suffer the same fate. And that may be the reason why it's rallying, or maybe he's buying. That's the reason why it's rallying, because Fantom has rallied a little bit as well over the last few days. So we will see. We will see if he's officially back or just temporary basis, and whether or not FUSD could stabilize, because it's still off peg. It's still nowhere near $1. And most of the stable coins out there, I think they have reached their peg, back to $1. But some are still a little bit off peg right now. So there you go. All right, that is pretty much it. Oh, I forgot Ethereum. Ethereum also. Ethereum 2.0 is coming. So Ethereum itself has destroyed 8 billion in Ether due to burning, right? And more will probably be burned when the merge happens. So it does show you burning does work if it's on a grander scale. Like something like Ethereum, there has been times like when the other side NFTs were being minted, there were times where the burning was so much that it actually offset how much new ETH was hitting the market, right? But generally speaking, it's just working in the background very slowly, but it does contribute, especially with, if you add it on top of like DeFi staking, stuff like that, it does help, right? But the ETH 2.0 merge is supposed to happen in August. That is the new timeline. They're already doing it right now with their testnet, and if all goes well, then for sure the main one will come in August. But keep in mind, it does not fix scaling once and for all. This is just initial step to kind of fix scaling. Okay, it does. The speeds does increase a little bit from 15 transactions per second to about, I hear anywhere from 75 to 100, something like that. Maybe a little bit more, but it's nowhere on the scale of what Solana is and Polygon and Fantom and all these other new chains, right? So there you go. There you go. All right. Outside of that, that's it. I do have a new sponsor today, and it's one that you guys love. I love this exchange, and that's KuCoin. KuCoin is one of the best exchanges out there. It's foreign, but still allows U.S. residents to participate. And they do have something that's called Treasure Coin Carnival to celebrate Bitcoin Pizza Day, because today is Bitcoin Pizza Day. But you guys know I talk about KuCoin so much. They have hundreds and hundreds of tokens. Like, they're one of the only exchanges that has Luna on there. A lot of XRP fans are buying on KuCoin, and they just have more token selection than basically anyone outside of Binance, right? And Binance have officially shut off to U.S. residents unless you're using Binance.us, but KuCoin is still one of the major exchanges that's still open, right? And of course, KuCoin does have their own chain. They have their own DeFi ecosystem. They have their own token, which gives you rewards, discount trading fees, dividends, all that stuff, right? So I've mentioned a lot of these things in the past, but they are celebrating Pizza Day by giving out $250,000 worth of Bitcoin. And this is only for new people. If you're already using it, you're not eligible. But for new people that want to join in on a new exchange like KuCoin, right? Basically, you just have to join, deposit $100 worth of whatever, BTC, USDC, USDT, UST, whatever, right? And then they will select a prize pool of this. One winner gets $100,000, 1,000 winners gets $100, and 50,000 in other lucky draw tickets. So just a way for people to enjoy Pizza Day, and this will last until the 30th. And if you want to learn more about KuCoin, also check out my article, How to Use KuCoin on CryptosRUs.com. All right, so there you go. A good day to be getting into KuCoin if you are new and still not on it. All right, that's it. That's it. Now, let's do some Q&A. Dr. Ryan Wisgerber, sorry, I butchered your last name there. Why are KuCoin and Binance shut off to US? Well, KuCoin isn't. KuCoin is still open, but you are limited. Binance is shut off, and most major exchanges overseas are shut off US residents because there's KYC requirements. In the US, SEC is demanding KYC, right? And a lot of them don't require KYC, so that's why they're shutting off U.S. residents. The burn address, people are asking about the burn address. Burn address reminds me of Sheep's burn address, because Sheep does have a burn address too, and people are voluntarily burning their sheep too, right? But it's a nice gesture, but it's a drop in the bucket, which is why Sheep has not shot up, in the top 10, because they released a burn address. And that's the same thing I feel like about Luna right now. It's like, yes, there are a lot of people that are burning. They hope that their support is going to help the chain. But until Do Kwon comes out with a proposal that officially burns, let's say, 3% of all transactions, and decreases the supply significantly, it's a drop in the bucket. Two questions in a row about VeChain. That's really strange. Seems like that shouldn't be. But yeah, VeChain is fine. I like VeChain, and I think in hindsight, they did something really smart. Their VUSD is not algorithmic stablecoin, right? When they first introduced it, they said it was going to be backed. And I'm like, why did they not go the algorithmic route? Because it seems like it'll be easier, less hassle. So many people are doing it. But now it turns out that was the right move. They don't have to worry about it, right? They don't have to worry about DPEG or anything. Well, they still have to worry about DPEG, but they don't have to rely on an algorithm to keep that peg, right? So I think that was a smart move. They're moving to Europe. So I think they're just fine. Man, the problem is if I host GeorgeCon, it's like literally no one would buy a ticket for it. So that's the thing. I know VCon just happened, and I've been checking out some of the videos on TikTok. Gary Vee rented an entire football stadium, okay? I have no idea how much that cost, but that is insane. Most of the seats, of course, are empty, but he had all the seats arranged in the center field. But it looks cool as hell. I am no Gary Vee, though, so I can't attract that kind of audience. But I still do want to have GeorgeCon probably next year, probably in February. Hopefully I could get something going together. I've been focusing on Vegas, but the problem with Vegas is they want you to, book a certain amount of rooms and a certain amount of food and all this stuff, and it's just a lot of mess. I just want a big convention center, But, yeah, you got some time. Dragon Chain, man, why are you, Coca-Cola, you keep focusing on the 2017 project. I met someone that worked with Dragon Chain, and based on what he told me and how messed up things were before, I would never touch that project. And I've said that before, but they have shot themselves in the foot probably like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, I would stay away. Oh, that's funny, Mr. Cash. Do you think it's good that Luna community burns the coins to egg? I don't know if they're egging him on, but they're telling him, we want the burn. And he refuses to talk about it. I'm surprised he even provided a burn address. But, obviously he's not oblivious to what everyone is saying on Twitter and in his forums. Everyone's saying just burn, right? But he refuses to recognize that for some reason. And I still think it has something to do with this tax situation, which he claims that they have paid in full. But I don't, I wish someone in South Korea can actually confirm that. But I think there's a real reason why he wants to fork, and I don't know what it is yet. But I think you somehow split off UST and just commence burning, right? It'll slowly recover. I don't think people realize because you don't see it, but as far as Luna, As far as market cap right now, it's 1.2 billion. Okay, 1.2 billion would rank it right over here. It would be in the top 50 still. It's salvageable. Even with the 6.5 trillion, it's 1.2 billion in market cap. It's above Fantom. It's right next to like Axie and Theta and Kalen and EOS, right? They're not too far off from Tezos and some of these other guys. So the chain is salvageable, but he just doesn't like that. How about Theta coin? Should we stay away? I don't know about why you should stay away. They lost a lot of momentum. Basically, when things start coming down, they're a decentralized streaming platform, and they have Theta TV. They're into esports. They're into NFTs. I think they got their focus got too broad. I think they screwed up their NFT marketplace a couple times, and I think this lost a lot of the traction when things started coming down. Can they come back? Sure, they can. But I don't hear about them, taking audience away from Twitch or YouTube or anything like that. But they do have some big partners that signed up. Which is the safest stable coin? I would say USDC. If not, then probably like BUSD, Binance USD. It was created by Paxos, so it's backed 1-to-1 with fiat. Is Gala going to survive? Yes, I do think so. I think Gala is still the premier gaming platform. I don't think they'll go away. So, yeah. I have not tested spider tanks. I just did a sponsor segment on them recently. Actually, it looks pretty fun, although I just don't have any time for games. But it is the type of game that I would enjoy. So I want to see how that is. I tried Townstar before, just not for me. It's just too slow. But something like Spider Tanks, I think, would be better. And they have like a first-person shooter coming out soon. And I mean, there's just a lot of games coming out. Dime, I talked about Fantom. I don't focus on Luna only. It's because people are asking me about Luna. You're not blind. You could see the questions in live chat. I'll sell you my tank parts. When do you think the NFT marketplace will get back to its past levels? Which NFT marketplace? Which one? Sol. Question mark. Sol actually, Solana is actually one of the ones that is holding well, relatively speaking, right? Solana, Cardano, now that Terra is no longer in the top 10, really the focus is on BNB, Cardano, Solana, and then you could throw Polkadot and Avalanche in there. I think these four are the big caps to really focus on because they're still the biggest L1s out there besides Ethereum, right? Still have the most TVL, the most dApps, most liquidity, great leadership, right? So these are the ones that are holding relatively well. When I say relatively, I know everything has gone down, but still much better than, say, the mid caps and small caps. A lot of guys in here saying Luna will be back, Luna will be back. I hope so. I mean, that's why when this whole thing started, I said I was going to DCA and HODL, DCA and HODL. Man, I got so much. I lost so much in it. But the way things are going right now with this new fork, I'm just not a fan of it. And I don't like Do Kwon's lack of communication, and neither does CZ. So he answered some questions yesterday, but still, why not address what's going to happen with Terra Classic, right? What is going to happen with it? No clue. It seems like he just wants it to die. Can the Axie economy be saved? That I don't think they're dead. Okay, if they were dead, they would drop off the top 100. But what made them so popular was the fact that Axes were going up in price so much, and so many people in Asia was actually playing the game as their sole income. They were making more playing the game and selling Axes than they were with their normal job. But now that Axes have gone down so much in price, right? I don't think they could do that anymore. So a lot of them have left. Can that happen again? Sure. I think they introduced some new mechanism where you can play the game for free. You get Axes given to you or loaned to you. But there's a lot of guilds and stuff that was created just for that purpose, to loan people Axes and stuff. I think they'll survive. I don't think they'll just go die off. But it may take a while before they reclaim their previous high. Rich, I appreciate that. Is there any price action that will convince you we're in a bear market? The thing is, MT, what's the point I'm focusing that? If we are and we aren't, what's the point? What's the point? It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you at all, right? That's why I get annoyed by questions like that, because so what? If I recognize it, if I don't recognize it, how is that going to change your perspective? And it shouldn't. Because the strategy doesn't change. It's not like, okay, the strategy has to be this now versus that. The strategy is still the same. You still HODL and DCA. I mean, it doesn't change even when things are on the uprise, right? So nothing changes. So why focus on such a silly question? Say the true, Terra was attacked. There's no question about that. It was attacked. It was done purposely. Yeah. All right, guys, I'll let you go. Overall, hey, Bitcoin coming back, 30,000, getting close there once again. But, I'm presenting all the facts, right? A lot of signs, models, indicators pointing, and history. Let's not forget history. That shows that Bitcoin could be rallying this week, could be rallying hard. But if not, it's okay. We just have to continue to HODL, have patience, and DCA along the way. But we never had 8 straight weeks of downs. You could argue it's the worst correction we ever had in Bitcoin's history, because we never had 8 straight weeks of downs, right? So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. And, of course, I talked about Terra and Fantom, what's going on with them, and overall, let's see what happens this week. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, 8:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll see. All right? Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out the Clips channel, too. There will be more content there today for you to enjoy. All right? Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.